All right, boot camp. I am so proud of you. We are halfway through and you are doing so amazing. So many of you are getting tips, you're doing the work, you're posting, you're hosting classes. We've had some up ranks. We're just super excited for you. All right, so let's get to work. Today's topic is about the letdown. Have any of you ever been let down before in your business? Maybe you're first starting and you thought, it would go much faster than it is. Maybe someone promises to order, but they never follow through. Maybe a customer cancels an order, or stops loyalty. So let's kind of experience this, and you can take notes or make little check marks, however you want to do it. Um, s- you know, Maybe someone says, I want to build this business with you. And you began imagining that the two of you are accomplishing great things. And then all of a sudden they stop responding. They go off the face of the earth. Maybe you prepared a class, cleaned your house, created handouts, bought supplies, planned this amazing presentation, and nobody showed up, right? Or one person showed up. That happened to Rachel DeValk 11 times, 11 times. I think Rachel achieved, I know she achieved the level of gold, right? And has a wonderful young living income to this day. Maybe you were close to reaching a goal rank and the month ended and you missed it. Maybe you poured into people, trained people, encouraged people, believed in people, only to watch them walk away or go to another company. Been there. Perhaps you've been disappointed in yourself. You know what you could be doing or should be doing, but you've not been doing it consistently. You remember a season when you were motivated, more confident, more productive. You wonder, what happened to me? Okay. So overcoming the letdown in your Young Living brand partnership. Write this down. Letdowns are part of leadership. Letdowns are part of leadership. You cannot work with people without occasionally being disappointed by people. People change their minds, they become distracted, they become afraid. People experience financial troubles, family problems, health challenges, mental challenges. Okay. Sometimes people simply do not yet have a commitment required to match the dream that they describe to you, right? So sometimes people aren't at the same level of commitment you are. That does not make them terrible people. It does not make them terrible brand partners. It is part of the business, right? We are all human beings. So remember, at some point, you're probably going to be disappointed. But John Maxwell teaches us that one of the qualities separating successful people from otherwise unsuccessful people is their ability to manage disappointment and loss. Notice that he does not say successive people avoid disappointment. Okay. A lot of people, once they've been hurt or let down, they avoid that situation altogether. They just do the easy things, right? In our business or our task. So, number one, we're going to, he's, John Maxwell said, they don't avoid disappointment, they manage it. Okay, so here's the things of how we're going to manage disappointment when it happens, because it will happen. Identify what actually disappointed you. When did you feel discouraged? What exactly made you upset? What was something that was like get into the feelings. Was it a goal miss? Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? Right? And you might want to journal this in your business journal. I do recommend you have a business journal. Was it a person who didn't follow through? Sometimes we say, my whole business is falling apart. I get this in coaching. But is it really true? Or did just three people say no? Or did one person quit? Or did I have low attendance? Or this month, did I fail to meet my expectations? Okay. Do not turn one disappointing experience into a permanent description of your business. This did not work is different than nothing ever works. This person was not ready is different from nobody wants this. So, number one, identify what you're actually disappointed you. Okay. What actually disappointed you? Number two, separate the event from your identity. Okay. Separate the event from your identity. Let me just confirm that we are recording here. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we're recording here. Okay. So let's keep going. So we set a lot of times we take on this identity. Nobody, when we experience rejection, if you've ever experienced rejection, which we all are, you are not rejected, right? You've heard other speakers talk about this. If you made a mistake, you're not the mistake. If you missed a rank, you're not a failure. If you lost momentum, or you have not lost your ability to begin again. Your Young Living rank is a business measurement. It's not a measurement of your value. Your monthly, did you hear that? Did you hear that, please? Your monthly check is a financial result. It's not a measurement of your intelligence, your calling, your heart, your potential, your hard work, even sometimes. One of the dangers of disappointment is that we allow something that has happened to us to become something we believe about us. We might say something, I'm not a good leader, right? Nobody wants to work with me. My best days are behind me. I'm just not good at this anymore. Those are not conclusions. They are discouraged emotions trying to become our belief. Ooh, write that down. They are discouraged emotions trying to become a belief. Do not build your identity around a difficult season. Okay. Number three. So far, what are we going to do when we're disappointed? We're going to identify why we're actually disappointed and we're going to separate the event from our identity. Number three, take responsibility without taking all the blame. There's a healthy question we should ask after disappointment. And I do this a lot in with teams and after classes, we debrief, right? What could we have done better? What did we do successfully? What could we have done better? What could I learn from this disappointment? What could I have communicated more clearly? How did I drop the ball? And just being curious about it. We've heard that a lot, just being curious about it. Do I expect someone else to carry the dream that belongs to me? Was I relying on one person, or one event or enrollment to save my month? Did my daily activity match my goal? Ooh, yeah. You know, blame gives your power away. However, responsibility does not mean accepting blame for everything. Taking responsibility gives you power because it identifies what you can change. Okay? Blame gives your power away, but taking responsibility gives you power because it identifies what you can change. You got this, friends. All right. So, number four, the fourth, when we get disappointed, we can learn the lesson, but we release the weight. Learn the lesson, but release the weight. John Maxwell's teachings on loss emphasize changing our perspectives so that losing becomes a learning experience rather than a permanent defeat. What did this experience teach me? Perhaps and this kind of goes in with the last one too, but perhaps it taught you not to build your entire month around one person or one class. Perhaps it showed you that excitement and commitment are not the same thing. Ooh, that's a big one. Excitement and commitment are not the same thing. Perhaps it revealed that your follow-up system needs improvement. Maybe it taught you to qualify people instead of trying to convince everyone, right? Perhaps it reminded you to stay close to your mentor and your training community. Maybe it exposed an area where you need to grow. Maybe you take the lesson with you, but you leave the emotional baggage behind, right? So we're going to do that. Do not punish your next prospect for the behavior of your last prospect. Don't stop trusting everyone because one person disappointed you. That's a huge one. I've seen this in business all these years. Do not stop trusting everyone because one person disappointed you. Do not refuse to build a new relationship because the old relationship ended badly. Wisdom says, I learned. Fear says, I will never try again. All right, the fifth thing that we're going to do when we have disappointment is return to the activity that creates momentum, right? Maybe you tried something new and you tested it out month after month and it just didn't go anywhere and it was such a letdown. I cannot tell you how many things that we've tried in our business that have failed, that just did not, once we gave it a good try, it wasn't a win, right? Or we invested a whole lot of money for a little bit of results. So discouragement wants you to withdraw. It tells you to stop posting, stop calling, stop following up, stop attending trainings. It says, what's the point? but inactivity normally makes discouragement worse. You begin overcoming disappointment when you take a healthy action. Send a message, make a follow-up call, invite someone to your next class. Like once you get into a role of that, like getting back to your task and getting back to inviting and just rolling with it, you will see some changes, right? Once you reconnect with your mentor, start going to office hours, brand partner trainings, getting into the reset calls, getting to these Power of Five boot camps. Okay, so I wanted to read this. So, a Maxwell Leadership article explains that successful people do not interrupt fatigue and discouragement as instruction. They do interpret fatigue and discouragement as instructions to quit. They treat them as signals to draw from their reserves and continue. You need to rebuild your entire business. You do not need to rebuild your entire business today. You need to take a faithful step forward. Okay, maybe that's a message for someone. All right, I've got to hurry up here. Number 6, stop expecting one person to fulfill your entire vision. I have had that many years, someone who needed this business, someone who I thought would do it with me and for me and my personality, I see someone who needs it and I latch on and they talk the talk, but sometimes they don't always walk the walk. And uh yeah, in my earlier years, I've helped people build checks and it yeah, it doesn't work out when it's, you want stop expecting one person to fulfill your whole vision. So if you want to go to silver, it's at least two strong team members and then their strong team members as well, right? So it's a team of people. And that's what's so beautiful about network marketing is we can all choose what level we do this business, but within your business too, people will have different levels of commitment. And that's totally, totally fine in different seasons, right? So we don't build our expectations on one person. Number 7, remember your why. So, so important. Just had a beautiful coaching with Becky Hutton this past week, and Becky just poured out her why, and we used our chat GTP, make it ask, made a beautiful flyer for her. She's going to be doing a big county fair venue, and it just was so beautiful how since she was so strong in her conviction of why, she's like, yes, I am going to continue to help people, and I want to help people and this is how I'm going to do it. And it was just so beautiful. Number 8, borrow belief until your own belief becomes strong again. That's good. And a great way we can do that is by being a part of these Power Fives and sharing our stories and hearing people on the business opportunity call is always good. All right. So those 8 again, let's read them real quick. When you get a letdown, you're going to identify why you actually are disappointed. Number 2, you're going to separate the event from your identity. You are not your failure, okay? And number 3, take responsibility without taking the blame. Number 4, learn the lesson, right? But release the weight. Number 5, return to the activity that creates momentum. Number 6, stop expecting one person to fill your whole vision. Don't put all the weight of your success on a team member. No, no, no. Number 7, remember why you began. Number 8, borrow belief until your own belief becomes strong again. So letdowns will come. Customers will say no. They'll stop their loyalty. Brand partners will change their minds. Team members will quit. Events will have empty chairs or no shows. Goals will sometimes be missed. You will have days where you really question yourself and question your brand partnership, but disappointment doesn't become defeat. You can feel disappointed and still stay faithful in your business. It's okay to feel the way you feel, but you need to recognize what it is, right? You're going to name it, learn from it, release the weight of it, and then ask yourself, what's one action that I can take, right? What's one thing to get me back on track? So today I want you, if you're feeling in this way, I want you to make a phone call. I want you to do a follow-up. I want you to do something that, is a little bit hard. Maybe you had someone reject you from a phone conversation or whatever. I want you to just step back into that again today. Because disappointment, I want Your disappointment is real, your experience is real, but your ability to grow from this is through the roof. Um, and this is a huge opportunity you have in front of you. So don't allow a temporary letdown to make a permanent decision for your business. You're going to learn, you're going to adjust, you're going to stand back up and take the next step. All right, let's get to work. High five, and I will see you later, friends. Bye bye.